Hello everyone, welcome. This is Gem 314 Tarot. I hope I find you all well. Thank you for returning, and hello if you are new. Technically, I'm still kind of on a break, but the lunar eclipse just happened, and I kind of wanted to come back and address it a little bit. Let's talk about it a little bit. In tropical astrology, it happened in Pisces. In sidereal astrology, which I like more because it's what's in the real sky, it happened in Aquarius. So, let's say a little bit about what the difference between a lunar eclipse and a solar eclipse is. Um, the solar eclipse is when the moon moves between the earth and the sun, and it goes in front of the sun, and she kind of quiets down the daylight, okay? So when the solar eclipse happens and the moon moves in front of the sun, the ego is shut off for a little while, and we're able to pull into the light the things within ourselves that we had been hiding from the daylight, okay? Daylight, the ego, the truth, what we allow others to see, the face we put forward, that's all in our sun energy. But when the sun is quiet, and we're allowed to bring forward the things that we keep on the inside, everything looks different. Everything is like in this in between. You can see things from different perspective. Colors are different, shapes are different, the light is different, the sound is different. All those things that are different about ourselves that we keep hidden can come out during a solar eclipse. This, however, was a lunar eclipse. And the difference is, instead of us bringing things out into the light, the earth is in between the sun and the moon, which means that instead of pulling things into the light, we are being called towards the darkness. We are being called into ourselves to go within and wrestle with those things that are still hidden instead of bringing it out into the light when the solar eclipse happens. In the lunar eclipse, we are invited, we are pulled, we are compelled to go within and face the things that are still in the darkness. So the the spread that I chose for today is it's a not moderation. What is it? What is the word I'm looking for? Um, Adjustment, kind of like adjustment, modification. That's the one. Modification of the death splits the difference spread, and that's where you go in the deck and you find death and you pull the behind it, in front of it, and then death is the, you know what I mean. So this time I did that with the moon. And I went into 3 different decks and I found where the moon was. And I pulled what was behind the moon, what was in front of the moon, one for after the moon, and bottom of the deck for advice. Okay? So in the first light tarot, I pulled the moon. Okay? Again, this is Cancer energy. Even though this happened in Aquarius, the moon is Cancer energy. The mother, how we mother, how we nurture, how we care for those things that are within ourselves. Okay, so here we got the moon. I'll put the moon card right there. Let me put it right there. Let me stand up straight. Here we go. There, that should looks fine. So behind it, we did behind the moon, and we pulled thought from the first light tarot. Okay. Oh, that's kind of raw, way in your face, and pull it back a little bit. So this card is look. Oh shit! Look at all angles. Tap into your higher self. Dismiss the negative. Now that's going to play in this very. I love when the cards do this. My cards don't lie. I love this. It's also a card of communication and positive thought. Okay, the key with this card, with saying it's positive thought, is that all positive thought is from source. All the thoughts that you have that are growth related and loving, and I want abundance for them and abundance for them, and oh my god, that's dog is so beautiful, and oh, I want to give everything to that little kid, and all those weird little positive things. Even Now, if this has to do with like the lunar eclipse, maybe this is positive things for ourselves or others that we have kind of kept uh, way deep down. And even things that we didn't realize we were keeping down. Maybe situations around us were just so heavy that they were weighing down all the positive things that we had hidden inside of us, okay? The reason that I love that this came out is that right after that, in the Tarot of the Divine deck, we dropped the Nine of Swords. Okay, so remember, the thoughts card from the First Light Tarot is telling us keep our thoughts positive, right? Because right after that, we drop the Nine of Swords, which is absolutely horrible thoughts about ourselves, okay? In the Tarot of the Divine deck is mythology and folklore from around the world. So I had to look up what the Nine of Swords was. This is the oracle at Delphi telling King Oedipus that his son was going to kill him. Okay, remember the whole Oedipus complex story? The 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 warning of that story is that his fear became a self-fulfilling prophecy. Now I'm also reminded of, okay, nerd alert, I am a huge sci-fi nerd, a fandom nerd, okay, Gen X Star Wars nerd. This is Anakin Skywalker. He was so fearful of losing Padme that he went down a path. His thoughts took him down a path that actually set his fears into motion and and actually fulfilled them through his own fear, his own what is it? Anger, fear, all that. Remember, what did Yoda say? Anger leads to fear, fear leads to hate, hate leads to suffering. That's the Nine of Swords. It's all that bullshit we tell ourselves that the horrible things we tell ourselves that end up becoming their own self-fulfilling prophecy. That's why with the first card on thought, it is saying make sure that your thoughts are positive because the positive thoughts are from source and those will combat the negative thoughts that come from within ourselves. Again, because this is a lunar eclipse, these are things that we are diving in deep to deal with, to handle, to account for, to acknowledge. That's the word I was trying to go for when they gave me account for. I was trying to go for acknowledge. We have to acknowledge that we have been pushing down things within ourselves that have been keeping us in the dark. Okay? All the negative self talk. Remember, the story about Oedipus is that his fears, he actually made them come true by acting on it. Um, one aspect of that story in Oedipus is that he, with the knowledge that his son was going to kill him someday, he raised his son with hatred, which then in turn made his son hate him so much that he killed him in the end. Okay? So if he had taken it as a warning and not as an absolute, then he could have sidestepped all of that. If he had heard the warning and said, your son is going to hate you one day so much that he's going to kill you. And he heard that and said, well, instead of saying I'm going to hate him back because I know what he's going to do to me, he should have said I'm going to raise him with love so that maybe I can curtail that. That would have worked. So we have to take that same stance with ourselves, okay? If you keep telling yourself, you ain't shit, it's never going to work, you are going to function in the energy of it is never going to work. You are going to function in the energy of you ain't shit. You are going to function in the energy of you do not deserve anything that you have been asking for. Do not allow yourself to become the slave to those thoughts, because then that is going to fulfill your own fears. Okay, now Card we dropped after that is really sweet. It was the Knave of Wands. Okay, I love this because the Page of Wands, you can't tell him shit. You can't tell an Aries nothing about himself. This is the energy that the divine wants us to function in. Okay, confidence. Um, Fiery, I'm going for it nature. Um, oh, do you think I'm not gonna succeed? I ain't, I'm not about any of that you're trying to tell me. I love the visual of the Page of Wands because to me, it's oh, so he's a page and he's there with his, fiery stick and he's looking up in some decks. He's looking up, and to me, it's the whole he's yelling up at the window, "Hey baby, I'm here. You want to come down? Let's go have some fun. Let's do this." He sees something he wants and he's calling out to it. I am here. I want you. You are in my sights. Come to me. Okay? That I love that about the Knave of Wands. And in this spread, it's saying, come out of the shadows, come out from under those swords. You see what you want. You are blessed to have it. Go get it. Okay? Don't listen to the no, don't run that way. Whatever. No, give me something better than that. Okay. They're showing me how, just think of the Page of Wands, okay? Like I said, you can't tell him shit. He's standing under this girl's window, probably somebody who's of a higher class, okay? Because he's gonna go for what he wants, even if it's out of his league. That's the energy you've got to bring to it. Yeah, maybe something that you're going for might be out of your league now, but it's not always going to. But it will always be out of your league if you insist on keeping yourself in the negative energy of I can't have it, right? You have to elevate yourself above that vibration. If you want to be worthy of something, you have to make yourself of that vibration to be worthy, right? And you're never going to be worthy of something that you are telling yourself you cannot reach. All right. So this is in the position of behind the moon. All right. This might be things that we have been dealing with on the down low within ourselves. It could be something that we had to deal with in the recent past. Um, I feel like this is stuff that we're not discussing with other people. All right. These are our inner doubts. Like we have these inner doubts that we're fighting with because thought is telling you to make sure your thoughts are pure, and that the more positive your thoughts are, the more powerful source can work through you. Okay. Nine of Swords, that's the energy of being in fear, being in anxiety, being in nightmares, being in, I can't think of anything else because it's always fear and anxiety. But I hear a lot of negative self talk in that too. Because remember, the swords are thoughts, it's all mental energy. Okay? This is all like gossip and things that you tell yourself and that inner voice that tells you you ain't shit. Okay, they want me to very quickly, and then we'll move on to the next pairing. They want me to very quickly um, pass on this little tidbit that I learned years and years ago. Don't ask me what the source was. I think I saw it on Facebook at some point. But somebody had said that their therapist had advised them whenever their inner voice comes out and says, what makes you think you deserve that? What makes you think you can get that? You're not going to get that. You're too lazy. You don't know enough. How do you even go out of the house at night? Whatever. Take that voice and give it the voice of somebody you absolutely cannot stand. This was so long ago, but even for me, that voice became Donald Trump because I've hated that MFR's voice since the 80s. Okay? He's always been a piece of shit. So to me, I hear him saying that stuff. And the If the voice is somebody that you hate, you give no value to that person. So when you hear those negative thoughts come up within you, automatically give them the voice of somebody you can't stand. Somebody who every time they speak, you want to punch them in their motherfucking face. Okay? Yeah, I swear. And eventually you will be able to, hopefully, wrangle that inner voice to shut the fuck up and get out of your own way. Okay? Now, we're going to move on to the next. What was I doing? It was before the moon and then crossing the moon. Okay. Because, like I said, the lunar eclipse is the Earth moving in front of the moon. Okay. So, what we have crossing the moon, we pulled the Chariot, which is determination and ambition. Again, Cancer energy, drive, ambition, determination, and emotional control. Again, with the lunar eclipse, now we've got Cancer energy. This is really wrangling emotions that have maybe been pushed down for too long. Okay, so they're trying to tell me, like in gardening. Hold on. The further down you push a seed, the deeper the roots and the stronger the roots they will be. So you have to dig it up and pull it into the light. You can't just keep pushing that shit down further and further because it makes it root even deeper and deeper. You're not hiding shit. You are not hiding anything, okay? You are only giving it more space to grow and more room for those deep roots to go. So if there is something that you've been pushing down, you got to pull that bitch out. Okay, that's the key here. Well, eclipses go in cycles. Right now, we've just hit a brand new eclipse cycle. We started with the lunar eclipse, meaning we are going in towards the darkness in order to pull it out. And in the light of the solar eclipse, which will happen in a month, that's when we pull those roots out and throw that shit away. Okay, we pull it out into the light. We look at it without the blaring light of the ego and we release it. That will be when the solar eclipse happens in, oh shit, Aries? Aries or Taurus? Something like that. I'll have to double check. So right now, here we have the Chariot, determination, ambition, emotional control. On top of that, from the Tarot of the Divine, we drop the Four of Swords, the Five of Swords reversed. So the Five of Swords is that winning, but at what cost, right? This is victory through deceit or crime, but it came out reversed. So that's wonderful. So this now is a conflict. I feel this is an inner conflict between you and what you wanted, what you needed, your need, like those emotional needs. But now there's compromise here, there's peace here. There is movement towards a resolution where there are no losers. No, excuse me. There's movement towards a resolution where there are, the Puerto Rican tongue sometimes comes back to bite me. There's movement towards a resolution where there are no losers. Blah. Okay, this is compromise. And after that, from the familiar deck, we drop the Two of Cups reversed. So this could be a breakup, but it's coming after like some there's some kind of understanding here. This is not a horrible I hate you, fuck you kind of breakup. I don't even know if there's another there. I mean, it could be another person. The only other card here we have with people in it is the Three of Cups here in the future position. How did I want to do this? Okay. So this was behind the moon, this was in front of the moon, this was later on in the future before the, okay, after the moon, and then this was supposed to be like advice. Okay, so yeah, there's like a move. I heard moving on, moving on. Do you want to give me a song for that? I can't think. Hang on. I've got this music in me. You know how you can't think of one song if you've got another song playing through? No? There's a feeling here of moving on. Now, the ones that are coming to mind is moving on up from the Jeffersons, and I'm coming out. I think that's the Weather Girls? No, I don't know who sings that. Don't quote me on that, please. I'm so sorry. But the I'm coming up, I want the world to know. That's not that's not really the feeling that I'm trying to convey here. This is I'm moving along, I'm moving on, you're moving on, we gave this a go, it didn't work. But there's no hard feelings here. I like that the Five of Swords is reversed. There's no hard feelings here. Nobody, this wasn't cutthroat. Okay? This was a Two of Cups reversed. It's like, oh, this didn't work. Okay, try to, we're going to either start over or just call it, you're going to call it a draw and walk away. But nobody's really bitter about this, you know? I hear this could for some be work. Um, I know the cups are more emotional, but to me, um, Two of Cups is like an agreement that is emotionally beneficial. And sometimes for me, that plays in with work because I do like my work to be emotionally fulfilling. This could be some kind of work related incident where it's like, this isn't working for me. And the boss is like, yeah, it's not working for me either. You can have your severance pay. And it's like, yeah, thanks. I'll give you my 2 weeks and, part ways. This could be a relationship. They're also telling me this could be an aspect of within yourself that you're coming to terms with, and you're like, I don't want to function in this anymore. I don't want to function like this anymore. I don't want to give energy to this anymore because with all these swords, it has been a mental prison, and you want out. So it's like for you with this Five of Swords reverse, this is peace, compromise, no losers. Two of Cups reverse, you're ditching it. That water in those cups was poison, and you are gladly dumping it out. Okay? And with the Chariot here, this has been long in coming. You have traveled up. They're showing me traveling in the dark. For moon energy, eclipse energy, they always show me a shoreline at dusk. So it's like you're moving along this shoreline at dusk. It's been a long journey. The Chariot is here with Cancer energy. You really have to. Oh, that's interesting. So, okay, just as an aside here, yesterday I tried to do this spread, but I wasn't feeling it. But one of the cards that fell out for the Tarot of the Divine was the Ace of Swords. And the depiction in the Ace of Swords was the story of Gordian's knot. Now there was this okay, so the myth of Gordian's knot was that Alexander the Great came to this city, and he was like, don't you guys have a king? And they're like, no, the only one who will become king is the one who can untie this knot. And the knot was tied to an ox cart because in their story was the person who would be king of our city will come in an ox cart. So this person, Gordius, came through the city. He didn't know about the prophecy. So he came in the city in a cart pulled by an ox cart, right? And they made him king. So they tied up the cart because it was sacred, and they said the next king will be the one who can untie it. Well, in some translations, this ox cart is a chariot because I mean anything that the king rides in becomes the chariot. Now here you have the chariot, and the what they're trying to tell me is with that card from yesterday, The chariot needs to be released in order for you to take your place as the ruler of your domain. The way Alexander the Great untied that knot was he wasn't having any of the, oh, I gotta untie it intricately this way, there's rules, I gotta do it. He said, fuck that, and he took his sword and he cut the bitch off. Okay, and everyone kind of looked at each other like, well, there's no rules against this. He can't, we didn't specify how you could get through the knot. And he was like, bet, I cut it off, I'm the king now. There needs to be this strong accountability here with the chariot card, with this emotional control. You are in control of how you untie your chariots. Okay, you can either do it very intricately, where you have you're pussyfooting around rules, and you're trying not to make waves, and you're trying to do it, how everybody wants you to do it, or you can take your fucking sword and cut that knot off and free your own chariot. That's how you become the monarch um of this story. The good thing about this here is, with this Five of Swords reversed, there's no losers here. You're not harming. See, that might have been part of what the Nine of Swords was. That fear that if you take control, you're going to be hurting somebody. Don't worry about that. Okay? I heard some people are going to go, damn. She is, or you are, they are. They took control. They knew exactly what they were doing. I was worried for nothing. Damn, they look good doing it. Holy crap. I'm going to follow that person. Or even not follow you. They're just going to be like, bet. All right. They're in control. They got this. And there you go off in your chariot, the king or queen of your domain. And along the way, you're pouring out that fucking cup that had all that emotional poison in it. Good for fucking you. Good for us. We are finally at this beautiful point where it's like you're driving your own car and you're pouring out the booze that was poisoning you. I paused at 2720 for anybody keeping track of like angel numbers, synchronicity numbers. 2720. Yeah. Okay, so that position we were talking about, chariot, Five of Swords reverse, Two of Cups reverse, that was what's in front of the moon. So what's in front of the moon in a lunar eclipse but the earth? The way they were showing me we could think of it was, the moon is a mirror, of course. Symbolically, it is a mirror. It's our reflection. It reflects back what the sun doesn't want us to see, okay? So if we think of the earth moving between the two, in front of, so we basically have our back to the sun and we are looking at the moon. So we have turned our back on the ego for a moment and we're looking towards the mirror. In this case, when, like I said, with a solar eclipse, we're pulling things from the shadows forward so that we can look at it in a new light. But with the lunar eclipse, we are actually going down into the depths to what is being hidden. So the way they showed it to me was so we're on the earth and we have our back towards the sun and we're looking at a mirror and we're kind of falling into it, right? So the we had thought, Nine of Swords, Page of Wands, that was behind the moon. And then what's crossing the moon is the earth position, what we're looking, the vantage point we are looking from. And then what's behind the moon here is the mirror that we're looking into, okay? So from our vantage point from the earth, from our ego center here, we have the chariot, the Five of Swords reverse, and the Two of Cups. That's the desire to I gotta get control of my emotions. I gotta, I am the king of my domain. I call the shots. Blah blah blah. That kind of empowerment here, because you're worried about hurting somebody. with this decision. But the idea that the Two of Cups reversed here and the Five of Swords reversed, meaning no losers, there's a compromise, and there's going to be peace. Um, it's like it's a wash. You're gonna this thing that is being um relinquished is just gonna be a wash. Okay? And with the Nine of Swords there, it's like somebody was a little bit too in their fears about it. So here in the front position is what's ahead. And what is ahead, we have Children card, which is we are all children of Source. And it says, be truthful, make room for each other, make room for different opinions, do not be diverted from your lessons. This is like a school card. Oh, they gave me something earlier and I think I just freaking lost it. But on top of that, we've got the Three of Cups, which is celebration, consideration, and care. This is more than just the party girls and the squad. This is like in celebrating with other people, you find your strength because you feel seen. This is like feeling seen, feeling heard, feeling validated. With people who agree with you, have your back, support you, feed you, love you. It doesn't even have to be every day, every week. This is just like-minded, kindred feeling souls that have your back. Okay, and then after that we've got the Page of Swords. Page of Swords. Page of Swords. Page of Swords. Oh, okay. He's the student. You're learning something new about some. Oh, this could be um a new collaboration between a new, like you're in a new group, like letting go of this chariot, this Five of Swords and the Two of Cups reversed. This, like I said, felt like an ending relationship, but it wasn't something that was a horrible breakup. You know what I mean? It was more of like a, yeah, I'm gonna go my way, you're gonna go your way. I think we gave this plenty of effort. um I don't want to fight. I just want peace. I don't blame you. You don't blame me. And you both just empty the cup and make and end it, right? So then it's like, let's see this children card. We are children of Source. Be truthful, make room. Don't be diverted and learn your lessons. Yeah, I really hate this card sometimes. It's just like it's not a warning, but it's a reminder that everything is a lesson, and I hate that shit. Like sometimes I don't want a lesson. I just want to be happy for a minute, just can I just if this is like related to school, this is like a time period where I just want to go to homecoming and turn in my book report and do my after school activities, and I want to do all the things that make me happy about school. I want to see my friends, I want to learn new things. I don't want to be tested. I just want to live. But it's telling me that this is part of the school that we're here to do. Okay, part of that letting go, empowering yourself to let something go is part of the learning process of being here. And in after we learn that, after we come through this, we are going to be surrounded by people who care about us. Okay, maybe this was preventing us from being in that circumstance. Like maybe this was a situation that was keeping us from actually connecting with other people in that way. Now we have the opportunity. But I feel there are some of us out there that can or will be a little bit skeptical of this new connecting with new people. That Page of Swords, I feel like he's just kind of observing, kind of watching. The swords in this deck are ravens, and to me, ravens are they're extremely intelligent, extremely observant, and they are constantly judging, constantly calculating, figuring out your motives, things like that. So I feel like there's going to be a little bit of, I don't feel like you're not going to want to participate, but you're just going to go at this with a little bit more savvy, a little bit more control, cuz we had the chariot over here, which is emotional control, and now we have the page of swords, which is the student. You feel like you're coming into this group as a newbie, and you're making sure that you're like feeling things out a little bit. um that's fine. I don't see anything here where you're going to regret anything. So you being cautious like this, it feels normal, and it feels like it's not any detriment. It's kind of what you would expect to happen after you kind of walk away from this other situation. I also feel that once you do let this go and embrace the empowerment that you have been neglecting yourself, it's gonna feel so enlivening. Is that a word? Like you're enlivened, you know? You're renewed. That it's going to feel like being a kid again. Okay? It's if they're showing me a kid on Saturday morning where the whole week was just a drag, and all you wanted to do was sleep in. But now that you passed this quiz, this test, or whatever, now you're on Saturday morning and you want to get up at 6 in the morning because you're all full of life. And part of that is because, like I said, you are being accepted into a new group, or you're being reunited with a group that you had set aside before. And you're coming into it with new knowledge about yourself. That's that page of swords. So then in the advice department, I hope this is resonating. I hope that the messages are reaching you for your highest good. If you're vibing with my content, please leave a like, leave a comment, share, subscribe. That helps the algorithm get my content seen. In the description, you'll find my email. Connect with me. I'm now open for personal readings. Let's do this. We can do a personal video chat, like probably like Facebook Messenger. We can do a video chat. I can do it by email, or I can do a reading like this and post it to YouTube as a private link that only you will receive. Okay. I can also do uh I'm drawing a blank. I have it right here in front of me too. Yeah, let's see. Um Birth chart. Jeez. See, I've been taking a break, so I don't have this like down, the repetitiveness. I used to just breeze through this because I would repeat it every day, but now that I've been on this break, I kind of lost it. So, check in the description, you'll find my email. You can contact me for a personal reading, video chat, email, or a private link. I also do birth chart inquiries. That's what I was trying to find. One question, birth chart inquiry. Any of those services are set fee $40. In my description, you also find my Venmo and my Cash App. That's how you pay for whatever service you choose. Or if you just want to drop me a tip, that my Venmo and my Cash App are in the description. I am hopefully trying to do this as a career. And I appreciate any and all interaction, feedback, or donations. I'm really mostly concerned with, I would like to get some more views, because I'd like the algorithm to kind of, um, um, expose me to new people. So now we have here the advice, this section. I totally blanked on what that was. We dropped a card from the First Light Tarot for positive surroundings. That's just kind of a placeholder. And we've got the Ace of Cups and the Four of Swords reversed. So this is beautiful. Um, the Ace of Cups, I love this story. This is Matsuo Saki. This is a Japanese story about some really, really good booze. Um, Briefly, let's see. It was an old man. He was sick, and his son went off looking for some sake, I guess, and he came across these two amazing beings that said they could come from like the um uh, a deep kingdom underneath the sea, right? Because Mount Fuji had just risen as a volcano, and they were like, "Hey, we gotta go see that." I don't know why I'm telling you the whole story. Just sit with me for a minute. So Mount Fuji rose out of the sea, and these two beautiful beings from the ocean kingdom came to the shore and were sitting there observing and admiring this beautiful new mountain. Okay, so this kid was walking along the beach looking for some reason for some sake for his father and stumbled across these two beautiful beings. They were drinking this magnificent sake and they were like, "Hey kid, what's wrong with you?" And the kid was like, "My father's really sick and I'm looking for some sake. Do you have any that I can bring to him?" And they're like, "Yeah, yeah, man, pour yourself some. This is great stuff." So he poured himself some from their sake and he brought it back to his father. That ended up happening like 5 days in a row because the father kept getting better and better. And so the father finally healed. Well, in the meantime, this kid ran into his neighbor. His neighbor was a real piece of shit, right? So he's like, "Hey, I see you bringing that good sake back for your dad. You bring me to where you're getting it, and I won't beat the shit out of you, right? I told you he was a piece of shit." So the kid, he was really scared, and he took he first of all he gave him a little bit from his father's sake, and the neighbor was he spit it out because it tasted really bad. So he's like, "Take me to where you got it." So he had to take him back to the beach to where the sea creatures were, and he explained to him what had happened. He explained to one of the people, the sea peoples, what had happened. Like, I gave him some. He said it. And the neighbor was like, "I had some of your sake and it was shit." And he's like, and the guy was like, "Really? This is the best sake the world makes. I make it. And if it's tasting like poison to you, it's because you're not worthy of having it." So the whole moral of that story is, oh, and then he was like, "Oh, the reason it tastes like poison to you is because you're a terrible person. So if you want it to not poison you to death, then you should repent, reflect, and change who you are." So I was like, so the guy was like, "Oh my God, okay, I will change. I'll become a better person, I swear." And then the sea prince gave him the antidote to the poison. The key being this Ace of Cups is usually depicted as like the waters of source. Okay, it's truth, it's love, it's emotional fulfillment. And the aces are always something, an opportunity coming out of nowhere. This is a blessing that you didn't expect. That kid stumbled upon a divine being, right when he needed it. He didn't expect it. And the cup that they gave him, whatever was in it, healed his father, okay, because he was worthy. So this to me feels like um hang on, they're formulating this sentence that they want me to say. You have to be ready to receive the truth, because if you're not ready, then what you drink will taste like poison. Okay? And all manner of different ways of thinking about that that you can consider. I heard I heard no no matter how pure the truth can be, if you're not ready to receive it, it's not going to work. Okay? That's for some people. For others, it's like no matter how pure your intentions, if they don't have good intentions towards you, it's not going to work. Also, if you don't deserve, or if, like the guy was a piece of shit, so this stuff that was a healing to somebody else, he wasn't worthy of that. I don't know how else I can describe it. But this Ace of Cups holds the truth and new renewal and new emotional abundance. But if you're not ready to receive it, it's going to go to waste. And even that's in the best scenario. In the worst scenario, if you're not ready for it, it's going to have an adverse effect, right? But here we have the Four of Swords reversed. I really like this. The Four of Swords usually means you're in recuperation mode. This is recovery after a heartbreak. But now you're coming out of it. It's like they showed me like not Sleeping Beauty, Snow White. They showed me Snow White stretching. She's still in her coffin and she had that long sleep, and she woke up and she's stretching like, hey, I'm ready to come out of my stupor. That's what this feels like. So in positive surroundings, you have this wonderful Ace of Cups, this brand new opportunity. This is coming out of nowhere. This is a gift from the divine. Are you ready to drink from this cup? Because they're showing me, because it was sake, and sake is strong booze. They are saying that this is pure healing, loving source water. Are you ready for this? Okay, can you wake up? Four of Swords reversed. Are you ready to come out of this? Woe is me. I'm healing. I don't want to talk to nobody. The Four of Swords is always somebody of course, there's going to be recuperation after a heartbreak, right? But whereas in the Four of Swords, you have the Three of Swords of heartbreak, they're on the wall. So you're not actively in the pain. It's there, it's in your mind, it's in your room, it's in your heart. It still kind of aches. You're still remembering it. You're sleeping underneath of it in the Four of Swords on this bed, but your hand is almost touching, or it is touching, that Ace of Swords. And the Ace of Swords is always the sword of truth. So it's like you're healing from whatever a disappointment was, and you're healing through truth. Okay? And to me, it's like you're finally like, all right, I'm ready. That's fine. It sucked that it happened, but I'm coming out of it. And when you're ready to come out of it, there's this brand new Ace of Cups here. I know that the storytelling is a little bit long, but with that particular deck, the Tarot of the Divine, it's all folklore. So I like to try to give the story behind the symbolism. Okay, so that's the Ace of Cups. That's Matsuo Saki. And it's like I said, this positive surroundings is once you get through whatever is pulling you into yourself that you are gonna have to deal with in there, in the dark, in the waters of the watery mirrored reflection of Cancer energy. Now, like I said, in tropical astrology, this is happening in Pisces. So this could be something spiritual, religious, emotional. This could be something in the psychic realm. It could be in the dream realm. In sidereal, it's happening in Aquarius. So this could be something that has to do with our friend group, the community, people in large groups. Aquarius is the humanitarian. He's ruled by Uranus, the rebel. He is a humanitarian, which means he feels he feels strongly for people in general. This is a relationship energy, but it's not a relationship one on one like it is with Libra. It's a relationship with people in general. So this could be happening in your wherever. Look in your chart. I can help you with that if you'd like to contact me. Look in your chart and see where your Aquarius is. Whatever house that's in, first, second, third, fourth, is could be the area of life where you're feeling this changeover. There is something with the lunar eclipse where you are going to be compelled to go down and weed through some shit that has been very deep planted. Like I gave the example earlier. The more down, the further down you hide something, the deeper the roots are going to set. So if it's something that's painful, you don't want to push it down further. It's just going to um, root deeper within you and hurt more. So in order to release that emotional pain, you got to dig it out. And that's what we're going through in this eclipse cycle right now. We're going deep to acknowledge the seed and work out how we're going to pull it out. And then in the solar eclipse that comes around in a month, that's when we're going to do the work of releasing it to the divine. Okay, I really love this as a comeback for you guys. I hope you guys like this eclipse reading. I'll be back in a couple days because we're switching over to Libra, and that's my sun sign. So, of course, I have the ego about it. I will be back to do a birthday spread for Libra. Um, I might come back to do another moon reading. I'm gonna come back slowly. I'm still really enjoying the break that I'm taking, but I do miss the cards. So I may come back in a couple days. I don't even know what the heck the date is, but I know Libra's coming up soon. So I will see you soon, everybody. Thanks for watching, and until I see you again. Okay, thanks. Bye.